Today I'm going to focus on how to improvise. Life seldom goes to plan. Negotiations rarely follow the script you developed the night before. So what do you do when things go off track, when the unexpected occurs? How do you improvise in that moment? I believe the secret lies into a relentless focus on the basics, a focus on the boring. For example, in boxing, the first punch most people learn is a jab. It's not as flashy as a left hook. Rarely are people knocked out with a jab, but it's a great setup for a knockout. It's also an extremely effective self-defense weapon. Now, a lazy jab can also be quite easily timed and countered by a smart opponent. So how do you develop an effective jab? Thousands and thousands of repetitions. I used to do rounds on a bag where we would set a goal of firing 100 jabs each side, left and right side forward, per round. So a round's 180 seconds, 3 minutes. So the frequency was just slightly higher than a punch per second, which doesn't sound extremely fast, but if you do that over 2-3 rounds, you're now firing 600 punches in your workout, and your shoulders are gonna get trashed. But after doing that for weeks, months, years, you develop a piston-like jab that is highly effective. In music, for instance, you need to develop a sense of rhythm, especially if you're playing in a band with others. So that usually means practicing your scales, your chords, your arpeggios across all 12 keys with a metronome. Definitely not as exciting as practicing a flashy solo, but you start developing that sense of rhythm and you start understanding the framework of music. So when it comes time to jam with a band in E minor, you don't have to take a beat and try to figure out the tonal structure of E minor. You know it because it's ingrained into your hands and into your mind. In business, you need to know your numbers. You need to know your costs, your margins, your forecast, which is basically a financial vision for your team, because you helped build that vision. You didn't delegate it. You made sure that you were involved in those financial reviews. You also know your team's strengths, their weaknesses, because you've made a habit of regularly checking in with them, not the night before you go into an important meeting to drive the vision of your company. So despite all your planning, you get surprised. So in a ring, you might get clocked with an overhand right, a sneaky overhand right punch you never saw coming. What do? You work that jab. You get out of that corner. You might be getting ready to go on stage. Your singer shows up and she's complaining of, she's got a sore throat. She can't hit her notes or sing all the verses. In business, you might be showing up to a negotiation and the other team throws an ultimatum at you you are not prepared for. So again, what do? You focus on the basics. All those hours you spend investing in those basic skills. So again, as I mentioned in the ring, work that jab, get out of that corner. Before you hit the stage, get ready to pull out that E minor pentatonic shape and start soloing when she can't hit her notes. And in business, remember that vision you built with your team. So focus on those basics. Focus on the numbers, the margins, the forecasts you already know, because you spend the time daily focusing on those basics. So I truly believe that your ability to improvise in the moment is supported by what you did before that moment. Focus on the basics.